We saw the conclusion of the 5 labors of Jericho, but it seems as if the 5th labor was one step too far. MJF beat Chris Jericho. We're going to talk all about it and what is next for Chris Jericho on Dynamite in just a second. So stay tuned. This is the Elite Maniac podcast. What's up, people? Welcome to the Elite Maniac podcast, where we discuss all things AEW. My name is Mex, aka WrestleManiac UK. I'm alongside my co-host Mike, aka Kings Road Wrestling. We've got a very interesting show of Dynamite. Had some great wrestling on this show as we gear towards this weekend's AEW Rampage, the supposed debut of a one CM Punk. We're going to talk about it all on this show. But before we get into all of that, guys, make sure you smash the like button. As always, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new here. And for all our audio listeners, please make sure you hit the subscribe button or follow us on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us with a 5-star review. Let the people know about the great job myself and Mike do right here at the Elite Maniac podcast. Mike, it is that week. You know, we're talking about Dynamite today, but you know, first dance is looming on Friday night. In terms of what you saw on Dynamite and building towards that show, what did you think of, the festivities last night?
There was some really, really good wrestling last night and some good promos and storyline. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, what's going to happen on Friday? There's so much talk, so much speculation, which is sometimes hard to focus on the storylines going on right now. And there's something, like you were saying, there was something looming in the background. It's a pretty good wrestling. And then in terms of, the whole main event and the ending, I got to be honest, I'm pretty disappointed in the 5 labors of Jericho. I'm sure we're going to get into that, but that's my initial impressions. I was left with a pretty bad taste in my mouth after that match.
Yeah. And we did really touch on it last week before this MJF match even happened. The minute they went that Wardlow direction after things had been so great with Nick Gage and Juventud Guerrera, it has kind of fallen off a cliff. And, great efforts from Chris Jericho, even, at his age, putting on those level of matches week after week after week after week. But yeah, in the end, it's just really kind of fizzled out. And a bit funny to me how, this match even was just on TV and not, it didn't make it to pay-per-view, which is, a bit weird.
It would have been even cooler, like on Rampage, because it's the hot new product right now. And, everybody's kind of interested in it. It was just a Dynamite match with a clean finish, kind of stupid stipulations, and I don't know where they go from here with that, but a miss, man. That's like another gimmick.
Wow, I've never heard you sound so down about anything on Dynamite like this. I mean, there's been a couple things, but it is rare.
I'm in a bad mood because of Lance Archer, man. Honestly. He got the title taken away from him on Saturday by Tanahashi. That was bullshit.
That's Tana Hogan.
Yeah, I can't. I'm like so upset about that, and it just like, it left such a bad taste in my mouth the whole week. And people were like, "I love it, like another belt for this guy," and I was like, "Man, you guys are crazy."
What? I mean, I know he's held that belt before. He's been the New Japan or IWGP United States champion before, but this run. I think I put on my Instagram 24 days.
Yeah, dude, that's pitiful. Like,
that's not good.
Oh man,
that's for the guy that struggled so hard to kind of overcome Moxley for this title. That wasn't good enough. 24 days, no chance
at all. And you know what? I just want to lay it out there because I did talk about it yesterday. It got a little bit controversial, but the guy had a 24-day title reign, and then he lost it to Tanahashi, who just got the belt because he needed another title to complete his collection. That's like something Charlotte does to just knock off like something on the list, or Hogan. And then the guy runs off to Japan where no one can go reach him because you have a 2-week quarantine. And then all the American talent can't challenge for the US title. And Lance Archer pretty much lost all his momentum. So I am not happy with the state of affairs right now. I'm hoping that tomorrow, with this United Center thing, it's going to really boost my mood back up. seeing something real cool, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. The partnerships are great and everything until they're not,
Yeah, it's like you say, yeah, at the end of the day, it's a New Japan title. New Japan have, I guess, final decision over what happens with that belt.
Mm-hmm.
And they've flexed their muscles here, if you like, and
yeah, I
put
guess
it
we
back on
flexed their
their
muscles
guy,
at
the
them
Ace.
a couple times. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, like you said, I feel bad for Lance Archer. I just
Me
feel
too.
like it's just not a good look for him. And then obviously what followed for him on this particular show. So without further ado, let's talk about this week's show
Let's
and
talk about it.
How it started off. You want to take it from here?
Yeah. There was like a little thing. They said it was an announcement from John Moxley and Eddie. And I feel like the 3 times they've done like announcements from someone, it's never been an actual announcement. Someone's come out and like jump them, which is exactly what happened. Mox and Eddie walk into the ring all suave and everything. And then 2.0, who I actually kind of really have been enjoying as of late. We've talked about it before. And Garcia, they ran out and attacked them, took out Moxley and Eddie, and then got on the microphone and said, Sting and Darby, we took out your crew, like your little wrecking crew. What are you going to do now? You got no one. Come out and fight us right now. So Sting came out, and then Darby came out right after and attacked 2.0. And then we had like a impromptu match that was booked, but it started like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And this was Sting's first time wrestling on TNT in the last 20 years. He did have a match on Double or Nothing, but first time back on his like home television network. And I thought he did quite well. The crowd was loving it. They were saying he still got it. Granted, they did do a lot of fighting on the outside, a lot of shenanigans, some weapons and stuff like that. But Sting really kept up, and Darby did some awesome stuff. 2.0 as well. Did you see that skateboard spot? They suplexed Darby Allin on the skateboard.
That looked nasty.
Dude.
That looked like a really genuine reaction from Darby.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine that feels good.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Just picking up from here in the chat, we've got Victor Punk live in here, nice and early. What's up, Victor? He said, F in the chat for Lance Archer. Yeah, it's not the best situation, but it's one of them ones.
I'm not gonna watch them anymore. Honestly, I'm like kind of really tired of it, so I'm just focusing on AEW for now.
Yeah, New Japan hasn't been the best, but
no, I'm like,
We'll see. SCW Steve, the wrestling channel. You guys make sure you're subscribed to Steve. I was just on a live stream with him earlier today doing some NXT takeover predictions, so you can check that out on his channel once we're done here. He says 2.0 and Garcia have always maximized the minutes they've been given, enjoying their work. Yeah, I definitely agree. They are they pretty much they were jobbers in NXT. They've come into here. They've got a chance straight on the big show, straight on Dynamite, taking their chance with 2 hands. Garcia, I called him last week, a bit of the flavor of the month. Everyone's loving a bit of Garcia right now, but he's doing a really good job. So yeah, you love to see, young talent taking opportunities with both hands. Ryan, awesome. Thanks for joining us, bro. He said Darby is crazy for taking that skateboard spot. Like I said, the reaction, I've never seen him react like that. It seemed very genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like he was in pain.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you land with your back first on like that metal truck of the skateboard, I can't. Man, that sucks. That was crazy. So props to Darby Allin.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. And then did you see this? Sting got kind of an advantage, and then he locked on this double scorpion lock on 2.0, which I've never seen before, and that was really cool. And made 2.0 tap out in the center of the ring. He did double scorpion death drop, so everything was kind of like doubled for Sting and then Darby Allin. It was really cool. Man, I liked it.
I mean, the finish, I like the finish, and it was that kind of a bit of a fun match. So take my next comment with tongue in cheek sort of thing.
Okay, great.
Yeah, exactly. But with Sting, being put through a table at his age and just springing up, no selling the table spot.
Yeah, that was like man, right?
Like, okay, now I think they done that because obviously we saw, in the pandemic era when Sting took that power bomb, if you remember, I think it was from Wardlow. yeah, he looked like he was dead in the middle of in the middle of the ring. Thankfully, he got up.
Yeah.
But
He was wearing
obviously,
like a pad. Remember that?
yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
remember, the crowd gasped because, of course, the crowd are none the wiser. The crowd was quite panicked off the back of that. And I think that's why they done this whole thing here of Sting taking that table spot and just shooting straight up, standing up, no selling it to show I'm all right, I've still got it and all this kind of stuff. But doesn't that water down a table spot in general for you?
Yes, it does, like for sure. So I get that like aspect of it, but like I always like pop really hard in the deathmatch scene when someone like goes through like all these like tubes or a table and they pop up
And
and
no
they're like,
sells it.
yeah, and they're like, come on, like
I definitely get that feeling, and that was my initial reaction. But then I'm feeling like, yeah, like this, and yeah, Victor just corrected me. It was Brian Cage that powerbombed him. Yeah, it's just you just went through a table. How can we? I know we have to just not believe certain things in wrestling, and it's one of those things. But like, I just thought Sting has to sell this. The finish could have still happened the same way the finish went down, but not selling a table spot, I don't know.
Yeah, there's been some no selling for some big stuff. But it's at the same time it's Sting. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna crucify him for that, but it was a mark off.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I can see past it for now, sort of thing. But like it's just one of those things in terms of continuity. But let's continue. It was a pretty good match, tag match to start the show, though. Pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. We had a little segment that went on before the show. So congratulations to Sammy Guevara, who proposed to his new fiance Pam, and she said yes in the center of the ring. It was like a nice surprise, and this was at the Fertitta Center, I believe. So Sammy's hometown in Houston. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
But then Spears cut a promo, and this was like, I was like, oh yes, like he said that there must be slim pickings in Houston. So obviously a dig at Sammy's fiance. Then he said that Sammy's girlfriend can be in the Pinnacle for one night only, and she can be on top. And I lost it, man. I was like, that's a great line.
The minute he said that when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top, I literally knew he was gonna make an on top joke at the end of that promo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't take anything away from it for me. It was so well done.
No, it was great.
Really good. Yeah.
And then they like this obviously pissed off Sammy, right? Because like he insulted his new fiance. He seems like a very nice person. So then they come out and they have this like, and this is my problem. Like somebody mentioned this yesterday, and I really wanted to bring it up. I agree with it. Like at the end of the match or the beginning of the match, when there's like a brawl or a run in, like I'm like I can't get my bearings like together. Like the match just ended for Sting and Darby. I think I have to got up to go to the bathroom and get a water, and then I like ran back in because I heard the TV, and then I just see like Sammy attacking Sean on the entrance ramp, and I was like, "What the heck happened?" Like, can you slow it down for a second? That's like my thing with Rampage. Also, it was so fast paced, so I hate when I like miss something. So I kind of missed the beginning of Sammy versus Sean Spears, but I guess the whole thing was, he insulted the fiance. He was very, very upset. So I get that. Sammy does like a front flip off the entrance ramp onto Sean Spears on the outside. The two fight until like they do a power bomb on the outside with Tully Blanchard's help. Then they finally roll back in the ring and they start having this match. And this match was like this was awesome, man. Like this was like I think my match of the night. There was near falls. They both hit their finishers and both of the competitors kicked out of it. Spears like was kneeing Sammy in the face with no knee pad. Then Sammy did it as well and busted open Spears on his eyebrow, and then the blood got all over Sammy's knee. So these guys like really went at it, and at the end sequence when they were both hitting their finishers and kicking out, it was nuts. I really thought they both went all out, and that was needed for this to make it cool. But Sammy, in the hometown crowd, hit that GTH, the go to hell, with the blood all over, and he got the pinfall victory on Sean Spears. So I think that's 2-0 for Sammy against Sean Spears.
Yeah, this match on paper, it's like you see the guys involved, you think, oh, yeah, we're going to get a good match. But yeah, they really kind of took it to another level. I wasn't expecting this match when I looked at the match card for the night, in terms of the match we got. Just two good guys that just mesh well together every time they're put in the ring together. And
Yeah.
the barricade spot was really cool. Obviously, Sammy's
Oh
athleticism,
yeah, I
and of
saw
course,
that.
the barricade spot was cool. And Sammy's intensity, obviously, blood always adds a little extra something to a match, in my
Yeah, we
opinion.
like it here at the podcast for sure.
Especially for me, especially when it's like genuine, like it wasn't meant to happen, so to speak. I don't like when people blade, but if it genuinely happens in the heat of the moment, then it's cool for me. But yeah, I think this was a good match. It was a very, very, very good wrestling match. Like,
For sure.
yeah,
That's like, this is
great
what I was
TV
talking
match.
about when I said we had some great TV wrestling matches. This was the one that I was
100%.
really
100%.
referring to, and it was really cool. Sammy got a kiss after from Pam, and it was kind of a feel good moment for Sammy, and he deserves that for sure. What's your favorite? I'm curious about this. What's your favorite weapon that's used in wrestling?
I without much thought, what I'll just say, a steel chair is just classic. Steel chair is just an absolute classic. So that might just be my go-to answer without giving it some real thought. Triple H made me love the sledgehammer, even though he doesn't really like use it. He covers his hand and stuff.
Yeah, he's still cool.
I you know what? I'm not a big fan. I think the kendo stick is complete rubbish, but of course we can see the damage that it does do. I'm not a fan of watching the thumbtacks. Always makes me a bit squeamish. And
I don't know. I would never take one of those, man. Like ever.
No.
Shit. Yeah, too much. Yeah.
What about yourself?
I like light tubes, definitely.
This guy, you've turned to a deathmatch
I know,
guy.
dude. I just like think they're so fun to use, and they're like really cool. And I don't think like they're as like they're really loud and they kind of break. And it's like I think it would be better than taking a steel chair shot. However,
do you think they hurt?
Yeah, I think they do, but I don't think they hurt as bad as a chair because they just explode. Like I think I think the way it hurts is it all builds up and you start rolling around the ring. I think that's how it hurts. Okay. So I'd say like lights, and I always really like those barbed wire whenever they do that. I like that. And tables, like you said, I don't know. I'm not really into that.
Tables.
I feel like they are very diminished in 2021.
That is very true.
They're like taking a mat, like going on a rolly mat. Like they don't look like they hurt. Sometimes they don't break, and they like, and no one sells them anymore.
The only tables I really kind of gasp for now is New Japan tables.
Well, those things are like disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are great. Yeah. But
Victor Punk asks here in the chat, Mex, would you take Legos instead of thumbtacks? I mean, I'm used to stepping on Legos and stuff like that. I've got a kid. But Legos, they still hurt, but I would definitely take Legos over thumbtacks. 100%.
The last thing I would ever do is land on thumbtacks.
Yeah. I'm not into that.
I'd rather move to Britain.
What kind of insult?
Man.
Man said I'd rather move to Britain than take thumbtacks. Jesus. All right, we're not that bad over here. Cool. So we had the Sammy and Sean Spears match anyway. What followed that?
Christian Cage, your favorite wrestler,
of course.
Britain's favorite wrestler, of course. Everybody loves Christian over there, and he came out and he's ready to cut a promo, but he was interrupted by the carny piece of shit, Don Callis, who kind of like just basically called him like, "Hey, little man, like it's great to see you after 20 years. It's so good that you're going to be able to wrestle Kenny and get hit by the One-Wing Angel." And then Christian was like, "I'm done with you and him. Like I'm taking the belt, and just wait and you watch." It was Christian's night on Friday. We can't deny that. And I mean, I'm a little bit more excited for the All Out match than I was with what happened on Friday, and then this whole segment that happened with the Elite tonight. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said already. I got a lot of heat this past week online on Christian comments. I don't mind him, but I'm just like not super into him.
You're not buying the Captain Charisma merchandise and everything.
No. He's never, and it's like I say, he's never been that guy for me. Even when he was a young guy running around with Edge in WWE, I loved Edge and Christian as a tag team, but even Edge, like Christian or Edge have never really done it for me. I've just never been into them like that. But I can totally respect everything they've done in this business
Yeah,
completely. That's
for
I'm never
sure.
gonna disrespect them like that. But
No,
yeah,
I was
they're
never that
definitely
much
not
into
that.
Edge either.
Mm,
But I respect them. I respect them both, and I'm glad Christian's in AEW doing his thing. Um,
yeah,
but next up, we had a promo package that I feel like I was the only one that liked. I feel like you know what I'm going to say. It was my man Dan Lambert, America Top Team, and UFC with the permission of Dana White. They were here, and I feel like people were like, "Get this guy off the screen," but I thought he delivered quite the promo, man.
he
And
was
I,
brilliant. He was
yeah,
brilliant. I don't have much of a knowledge of what he does for you guys. I mean, in the US or whatever the case, or if I don't know if he works for UFC or anything like that. I have no knowledge of who this guy is at all. But you can
spokesman
cut.
for a UFC gym, basically
Okay.
that there's like fighters that work under the gym, and he's the spokesman for them. So those two guys in the ring, Junior Dos Santos and
Yeah. Yeah.
Andre, they work for that team. Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't really know why he's here still. To be
Yeah.
fair, I mean, he just, I guess, has an issue with wrestling and wants to echo some of the stuff that's been said online. And I did
Yeah.
really, I wanted your opinion on this one part. He said AEW has embraced cancel culture.
Yeah.
My Amazon Alexa's going off. Sorry about that. He said AEW
No.
is embracing cancel culture and they're silencing people. Do you think that was like a Max Caster thing, or?
It could have been. It could have been. I mean, you've just raised a good point. I never thought of that at the time, but it could be. But ultimately, this guy just cut a hell of a promo.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, like his delivery, everything, believability, everything was great. Victor Punks just said in the chat that that promo was heel heat 101. It really was. He
He's
was
been
really on
studying
point.
like what they say on Twitter. Like you could tell
Maybe,
he's
yeah,
been on there, like looking at what like the common threads are for like heat, and yeah, I feel like he just echoed that perfectly. But
yeah,
it turned a little bit weird at the end when the two UFC guys didn't do anything. They just kind of like stood there, and then Lance came out. Poor Lance. We've already mentioned this. Like,
mm,
hate it. And then he got attacked by the Men of the Year, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, who are like, I don't know. They're not really doing anything right now because
yeah.
they got finished with Darby Allin and all that. So they attacked Lance Archer, and it looks like they may have aligned with Dan Lambert. I mean, this is something for them to do, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, it's something. I mean, Ethan Page won us over in the end as he got, towards fever pitch of the Derby feud, and that was really good. The coffin match, but again, right now it's like he's lost all of that heat with me, and he's just Ethan Page again, and him and Scorpio Sky and whatever they're doing together. Again, I'm just not into it right now, and I know it's just week one. I know it's just starting, but like you said, even the whole thing of the UFC, the ex-UFC fighters coming out and not really doing much, and Lance Archer just getting beaten up by these randoms. I don't know, like I just wasn't into it.
Yeah, I was into Dan Lambert, but not the rest.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
should just have
literally.
him come out and
Yeah,
just insult every city because that's a
yeah,
good laugh.
yeah.
But afterwards, we had a commercial break, and then we came back to, I think, the other, like, what was tied for me for the match of the night, really. This AEW Tag Team Championship match between the Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks. And this was like this was fire, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, right? Like, what was your initial thoughts about this? Like,
So fun. You know
uh-huh.
what? When this match happened, when the match started, I don't know what I was thinking, or I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't using my brain. But then, like halfway through, I was like, "Oh my god, this is for the title!" Like, and it was so close. The Bucks are so good at the near falls and stuff like that.
Right?
Them and
That's
Kenny and
man.
stuff. They're so good at the near falls and just really makes you believe, what's gonna happen. And then yeah, of course we saw Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus really done a good job in this match as well. He had a bit of a flurry at one point in this match, clearing the ring and stuff. We saw Kenny come out with the chair. And the minute Kenny came out with a chair, I was like, oh my god, the Bucks are gonna lose the title, just like what happened on Rampage.
Yeah, I thought so
But
too.
yeah, it didn't quite happen that way.
No, I thought, yeah, man, this like it didn't hit me for a second. Like this was number one for the title, And number two, that they really, I thought, had a great chance of winning this. And I thought, like, if the titles do change tonight on Dynamite, like, that's well deserved for both of them. And what a moment it would be for Jungle Boy to get a belt in AEW. So I was like, oh shit, they didn't win. Like, I hate the Bucks, you know, man. Like, they're so good. But yeah, man, the Young Bucks are really king of the near falls. Like, them and Kenny can do it better than anybody I've ever seen. Where, like, you are convinced that it's going to be a 3 count, and then all of a sudden at 2.75 seconds they get a shoulder up, and you're like, shit, like, what's going on? But I thought the real stars of this match were JB and Luchasaurus. Lucha, like, I'm really glad for him. He was really over with the crowd, and he was doing a lot of work. And they had some awesome move sets, some awesome combinations. If they eventually did win the tag team championships, I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I thought it was going to happen. I thought we came close to it at least on 2 occasions last night that it was going to happen, but unfortunately not. But like you said, Luchasaurus deserves his flowers. He will often be, as long as he's standing next to Jungle Boy, he will often be the forgotten man, even as big as he is. But yeah, he really pulled his weight last night and reminded everyone, in my opinion, that he's a great wrestler.
Yeah, also that don't mess with him, because he is still, like, huge, and he might be, like, funny and everything with his mask, and they're lighthearted, but he can still go for sure. And well, yeah, definitely can go. This is another thing, after the match we had another, like, beat down segment that we had, like, with Sammy. We had it with the Elite this time. So Gallows brought Christian Cage to the ring, and then the Elite just basically beat down on them. They kicked Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus was getting beat up. Omega then jumped on Christian, and you could just tell how, like, upset Omega was, which that's what really made this a good segment for me. Omega was so upset at Christian. He was, like, really putting all his emotion into this after the bell beating. He hit him with the one wing angel. He was, like, screaming, come on, like, you want it. They all counted 3. Like, you could tell Christian is definitely getting in Kenny's head.
Just before we get to obviously the end of this segment, there was a point where Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are really coming close to wrapping up this match and winning, and that's when Gallows and Anderson started coming up, and you saw Nakazawa come up, and I really looked at it and I thought, Jesus, there is a lot of these lot. Like, this Super Elite thing, there is a lot of them. And then by the time the segment was finished and we saw them all posing on the entranceway, I said, my God, like, this is so good. Like, how is Kenny supposed to, or even the Bucks, how will they lose their titles with all of these guys involved?
It looks so cool, right?
Like, I just said, nobody has a chance. Like, honestly,
no one does. Like, they look so good, man. They have all the gold, and, like, honestly, even their stooges, like Nakazawa and Cutler, like, they look a lot cooler than they used to look. Like, with Nakazawa and his, like, oil wrestling, and Cutler doing the Dungeons and Dragons things. Like, they all play a role. They all play the role well. And then they got, like, big Uncle Don Callis there, and they just look so cool. And that was a great visual with that picture. I can't wait to get definitely. That. But yeah, it's going to be seriously a challenge for Christian Cage. It's going to be seriously a challenge for whoever faces the Young Bucks, which I guess we could talk about right now. There's 2 kind of advancements with the tag team titles. Number 1 being that the Young Bucks will be defending the tag team championships at All Out, and they're doing that in a steel cage because Tony Khan has had enough of the Elite shenanigans, the Super Elite, and they don't want any run-ins. Number 2, there will be an eliminator tournament starting with, I guess, we're starting in the semifinals. So I think there's 4 teams going down to 2 to 1. And that's starting this week at Rampage and on Dynamite. And I think Death Triangle is in it. Jurassic Express, the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
There's 2 others. Varsity Blondes and who's the 3rd team?
Varsity Blondes, Lucha, the Ray Phoenix thing.
Santana?
They haven't. I don't think I saw Santana Ortiz announced.
Okay, but
Private
nevertheless,
Party. Ryan Awesome said Private Party.
Private Party is getting a shot at Rampage. Okay, so interesting. So yeah, that will be on Friday, and the winners will be at All Out. So I'm thinking
It's got to be the Lucha Bros, right?
it's got to be Lucha or Jurassic, I think, right? Those are like the two.
Yeah, they can run it back to Jurassic Express, but then, Jurassic Express would have to beat them in the cage.
Yeah,
which I think could work.
I think it'll be Sarah Miedo.
Yeah, I think it might be those guys.
Yeah, and maybe a title change at All Out.
Quite possibly, yeah, that could be good. We've got Alexis here in the chat. He says, "Hey Mike, I'm Alex the Noah Mark from Instagram."
Alex Lagunas. What's up, man?
A question I have is, who in Impact do you think is most likely to take the title of Christian Cage?
I think Cardona or Josh Alexander. I mean, I was talking about this with someone else. If they don't put a belt on Cardona with his time on Impact, like that was a waste of a signing, because like he really is a star and he's got a lot of power behind him. And Josh Alexander, man, guy is hot as a flame, and he's so good. So, well, I can't wait to see these matches.
Yeah, I think Alexander or Moose. I think
Moose is hot too, dude. He killed it with Ishii this weekend. Also, the Lucha Brothers killed it at Triple Mania. They wrestled against Brian Cage in like this triple 6-man thing, and you guys got to see this match. It's unreal, and it's on the streaming sites because you can't find Triple Mania in the United States, so you have to go there. So I would definitely suggest checking that out. Triple Mania was cool.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. Right now, obviously, Zack Ryder's having kind of like the run of his career. So at least his indie career. So yeah, that it'll be a good time to put the belt on him.
I don't mean to take up too much time, I really don't, but I was at a show this weekend and I mentioned to someone like a joke about Cardona Ryder, and they like did not find that funny at all. Like this was at a GCW Jersey Championship Wrestling Game Changer, like the same thing, and they were like pissed the hell off. So the heat is absolutely real there, ladies and gentlemen. Like I totally regret mentioning his name there.
Wow.
Yeah. Hate the guy.
He's doing a good job then. That's how
wrestling
should make you feel. I guess that's the whole plan. So he's doing a good job. But yeah, let's jump back into AEW.
Let's jump. Man, I got a new, I was all like, I loved Eva Lise. She got released. Like that was my wrestling crush. I loved her. I think I got a new one in Jamie Hayter of the United Kingdom, and Britt Baker's new assassin or whatever she is. Like, damn, like I was very upset when we lost Bea Priestley because I really liked her. And I really wanted to see what she could do in AEW. But not a lot of, I guess a lot of people might know she's really good friends with Jamie Hayter, and they were both in Stardom together. Jamie Hayter's now in AEW, and she is Britt Baker's assassin. She kind of spoke for herself and called out Red Velvet, and she wants to have a match with her next week on Dynamite, which is booked. Poor Red Velvet getting fed to this Commonwealth kingpin kind of. But man, I'm happy that Jamie Hayter's here, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a good move, nice little introduction to her as well backstage. She got to, it's always mad when you hear like Britt Baker going at it, or just a regular US accent, and then right next to them the English accent, and you could just hear the contrast, like absolutely crazy.
It's like, for those who don't know me, I'm Jamie Hayter.
It's probably what we sound like, but that's literally how she sounded. That was a very good impression. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what comes off this this little Britt Baker stable that she's putting together.
Yeah, this cool little stable, and I definitely like it. Jamie Hayter is jacked as hell. I didn't even realize this, but like geez, like this is a great signing for AEW, I think. And then we have Jade. Speaking of people who are jacked, she cut a promo as well, and Mark Sterling, Smart Mark, he was like, Kiara Hogan, like you're a hot free agent. You're impressing everyone. You got quite the following. I thought they were going to say, come on board, Team
Join
Jade.
us.
Yeah. I've been like, oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
But instead, they called her out, and they're going to have a match on Rampage, which like Kiara Hogan's probably my top 3 women's wrestlers. When she left Impact for a second, I was like, oh my God, is she going to NXT? Like we're never going to see her again. But she showed up on Dark and Dark Elevation and did quite well this week. So I think they see her potential, and I'm excited for this match. I'd eventually like to see that kind of Team Jade faction. That'd be kind of dope. We still don't have a women's group. I guess we do with Britt right now. Britt is the first.
Somewhat, yeah. With Kira Hogan, like you said, it looks like they've spotted the talent. They're fast tracking her. The girl's used to TV. It's nothing new to her. She's went from Dark to Elevation to Rampage in what 3 weeks basically. So
1 week.
Well, yeah. Well,
I guess
it's like 2 weeks in terms
2
of
weeks
how they tape it. Yeah. So yeah, I think she's not going to be far from a contract, an official AEW contract, and we see her actually play out within the division on Dynamite or whatever very, very soon.
A lot of good people on Dark this week, man. Crazy episode. Lee Moriarty.
Don't tell me the outcome. I need to watch that match. I know roughly probably who won.
Dude, they popped hard for him. They were like really going for him.
Good.
We had Ricky Shane Page of GCW, my man. Masha Slamovich, who's from New Jersey, also Mission Pro. So Dark was pretty flame this week, way better than that Monday's show. But we'll keep going on and talking about. I love this segment, man. I'm popping. But
before you get through this segment,
go ahead.
Let me just run through some of the comments that the guys that are watching live are putting.
We are hot with the comments. I'm loving it today.
Victor Punk says Triple Mania matches are on YouTube now, so anyone that wants to tune into those,
nice, okay,
you can catch those there, I guess. Alexis has just said Cardona should get the PWG title from Bandido.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're looking for trouble.
Yeah, right.
You're definitely looking for trouble. Alan Harris says that Jurassic Express deserve a big win. Pac needs to screw Lucha Bros in the Eliminator so they can turn on him at All Out and create the main event Mafia with Andrade. I mean, I want to see those guys together as well. So we'll see how it happens.
And the man, woo!
Yeah, Ricky. Young Ricky. Alexis says that he hopes Bea Priestley does well. I can't remember what they've called her now in NXT UK.
Blair Davenport.
Davenport something. Yeah, Blair Davenport.
And Will went to the US, so that's interesting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jason says, "What's up, Maniac? What's up, Mike?" And he says, "Jamie Hayter reminds me of Becky." I mean, she could be taking that kind of angle to help her kind of get over or base her character on something. It would be a decent idea. And Victor Punk says Lee. Yeah, he's good.
He's good as hell, man. Thank you for the comments, everyone.
Definitely.
I felt terrible for Paul White after this promo. This was mean from. Oh my god. Hold on just 1 second.
So yeah, we saw this promo between Paul White came out and he basically was going to make an announcement alongside Tony Schiavone, and it was interrupted by the guys at the factory and
Tony Soprano lookalike idiot QT Marshall.
QT Marshall was saying that he's got inside information and everyone because of his backstage job, and obviously he spoke about Paul White's recent surgeries and stuff like that. Showed a picture of the internal bits of metal, I guess, that he's got holding his hips together. I guess that's what that is. And he showed another picture of basically his hip / ass,
his ass,
and all the stitches across his hip / ass area after the surgery, I'm guessing. So yeah, he's basically saying that you want to get in the ring and stuff, but you're unfit. But it seems like Paul White has been cleared and he's going to have a match against QT Marshall at All Out.
I really, really, really like this segment, and here's why. Like Paul came out, and everyone has a little bit of doubt of can this guy actually go, and then QT comes out, and he really puts a light on that doubt. He shows these pictures of the surgery. He says AEW doesn't like to advertise things they can't deliver on, and you obviously are lying to the people. You can't get in the ring with this injury that you have. And then Paul, the camera goes to him, and you could see he's getting like upset, and he says it, "I'm getting upset now. Like, you're really pissing me off. Like, how dare you doubt me?" And he's had kind of like a joke of the last couple of years in WWE. They kind of made him into a comedy act.
Yeah,
we got some sympathy for him, and he's gonna prove himself again. I think he's gonna be really gonna kill it at All Out. I'm excited for this, and I really enjoyed this segment, man.
Yeah, it's a good little segment, very easy, very straightforward, like you said, got the sympathy. He made fun of himself even when he had the picture of his hip, his ass out. He made a bit of fun of himself and then continued and called out QT Marshall. So one thing I did recognize even before the promo started, when he walked down to the ring, he was like limping or something like that, and maybe that's just what the hip surgery does to you long term. But we knew when he signed we were going to get some Paul White matches, so this is the first of the bunch. So let's see how it goes.
Definitely. To finish out like the segments of the night before we get into the main and semi-main, we had Andrade and who interrupted Death Triangle and said, Pac, you want a match with Andrade at All Out? Fine, but you have to agree to our terms and conditions. And they handed him like a stack of papers, and they kind of just made fun of him and walked off. And I'm not sure. A lot of people are saying that they're just planting the seeds for Pac to turn or the Lucha Bros to turn, and like you said, that whole thing. But we're just gonna have to wait. I hope this match is really good. I mean, the Omega Andrade match at AAA was pretty good this weekend.
I watched it, and I felt by the end of it, I felt this was a good match. But I know at least from Andrade we can get a whole lot more.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like he's been missing a little bit.
Yeah, it might be a bit of ring rust, and obviously he's been wrestling the WWE way, for years now. So it might be just getting rid of that, getting his groove back and stuff. I'm expecting him versus Pac at All Out to just be fantastic. I think that's the big match where we see, the Andrade that we're used to seeing. Elijah Will said here in the chat, "What's up, guys? Just give Paul White Camarado instead of QT." That could be something they move on to and give Camarado a win, maybe. Victor Punk says the Lucha Bros are turning on Pac. It's gonna happen, and I hope they get rid of Alex from the group.
Boo! That's a stupid plan at the end, Victor.
We love Abrahentes over here.
Penta says that's a bad idea.
Exactly. Elijah Will says, but I agree. This is interesting storyline. Can White do it in ring again? Face a heel heat QT Marshall.
Yeah, Paul be face, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Everyone kind of felt bad for him, I think.
Yeah. And Elijah Will says again, Lucha Bros is to turn on Andrade and then Pac bring out someone from Dragon Gate.
The Los Perros. That's
could happen.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a lot of luchadors out there that are swimming around the world right now. A lot of good ones as well. We had somebody said this person was the worst female on the roster the other day, and I was like,
who?
I can name a few others that aren't very good. Penelope Ford.
She divides opinion a lot. I've seen it, but yeah, I don't particularly believe in it. I think she is maybe, if we're to rank the women that they use quite frequently on Dynamite, just in terms of how good they are, I think she would be near the bottom, but she's obviously good enough to be on TV semi-regularly. You see what I mean?
And also still working at her craft. She's pretty young,
yeah.
And she's new from the indies,
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna. I was still excited to see this match.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
And there was some story because Penelope had beat Masha Slamovich, which is Thunder Rosa's protege and Mission Pro. So Thunder won, and then she beat her up after the bell. So Thunder wanted to kind of defend her students. So that's what this whole match was about. And the two just had a pretty solid mat wrestling contest. They both went back and forth. And both hit in some offense, which I thought it wasn't a total squash. It really wasn't, which was good because Penelope's been there for day one. You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
We did see like a little bit of sloppiness towards the end, but Penelope got like 2 Muda locks in, and towards the second one, Thunder Rosa was able to roll out and kind of get a rear naked choke in. So she submitted Penelope Ford. And, takeaway from this match, man, is the crowd loves Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, literally. Obviously it was Texas, which is, I believe, where she lives now.
Yeah.
Since moving from, Mexico or whatever. But yeah, I think Thunder Rosa is a big star. And once they've kind of given Britt, half a run going through the rest of the division, Thunder Rosa has to be the woman to triumph over her and become the next
Mhm.
AEW Women's World
Definitely,
Champion.
she's next in line. Then I'm hoping like Statlander or Ty Conti get some sort of a chance.
Yeah. Victor Punk says here in the chat, Penelope wrestled in normal clothes, not on her ring gear. Did she lose her luggage? Bro, when she came out, yeah, I was thinking, oh, she's dressed kind of saucy tonight.
Yeah,
Like,
with like heels and everything and leather.
yeah,
I was like,
like, you
okay,
know,
Mandy.
nice little top on. I was thinking, is this just a promo segment? But then I was thinking,
Squash
oh, sure, they
match.
said a
Yeah.
match. And then, yeah, Thunder Rosa came out and she was basically wrestling in that stuff. So, yeah, very, very interesting. I never heard the
Andrade
story
wrestled
about
in
her
a
thing.
suit this weekend.
Yeah, but that's his new thing of this kind of Tony Montana suit thing, which I'm
Yeah.
not really into, if I'm completely
Yeah, I
honest.
mean, I think it's restricting his ability, like his movement, right?
That's
That
what
can't
I'm.
be
Yeah,
comfortable. Just
yeah.
put on a speedo, bro.
That's exactly it. Eric Travis in the chat, thanks for joining. He said, sup guys, Ford is improving. She has a future change of being women champion, and Thunder is awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, Ford's
100%.
like
Like,
my age, bro. Like, you
yeah,
know,
like I said, like for the women that they feature on the show regularly, she's probably, yes, the bottom of the list, but she's not rubbish at all. They wouldn't
no,
put her on
not at
TV if she
all.
wasn't ready. She's just obviously not as experienced as the others. So yeah, she's good. She's got a long way to go, but she's still very good.
The New Jersey independent scene produces the best talent. I stand by that because she's from there. A
Putting
lot
over
of
his hometown, guys.
Yeah, a lot of people are from there. What was I gonna say? Yes, I'm excited for all this stuff in the women's division, especially. I think they should pick up some of these talents that were featured on Dark this week too, just like they picked up Jamie. You know, let's get some women
Yeah,
signings in there
100%.
as well. Um,
Quickly,
uh,
Alan Harris says in the chat, is Kip Sabian still in AEW? I believe so. I believe he's just injured.
I believe Miro killed him. I believe. Did you see? I gotta say this. Did you see the post I made on Monday about Miro and Bloodsport, the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you got to go back and watch Bloodsport, the movie, because the main protagonist, like Miro, literally ripped off all his movements. Like, it's insane if you go and watch this movie. The guy's name is Chong Li. He runs around the ring like with the stomps and like points at people. This is like Miro to the max, and I was like dying when I saw that. I'm so into Miro right now, man, and I love these promos that he's cutting. Oh.
And just on Miro, because we mentioned some of the segments before we get back to the wrestling. Obviously, he called out Kingston,
bro. Oh my god!
Now listen, I saw some type of thread where if you see the side plate of Miro's AEW TNT Championship, the side plate is some type of building that's in Bulgaria. And apparently, I haven't done my own research into this, but apparently that building is like represents some type of opportunity.
Can you send this to me? Because this is very interesting.
If I find it again, I'll send it to you. The building represents opportunity, and that the building had like 8 opportunities or something like that, right? Now, if I'm correct, Miro has defended his championship successfully about 6 or 7 times. The 8th is looking like it's going to be against Eddie Kingston.
In maybe Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yes. So I think Eddie Kingston, you know, if there is some correlation between this side plate and Miro and Bulgaria and this, that, and the other, Eddie Kingston would make sense to be the next challenger. Maybe he wins it on this 8th defense. Sorry, maybe Miro retains on the 8th defense, but when we get to New York, Eddie Kingston finally beats him for it on the 9th time because the 8 opportunities will be over. If you see where I'm going with this. So
I like that whole
very interesting like if this is all
Mm-hmm.
linked together. But yeah, I think Kingston versus Miro, when we get that, and you know, hopefully Kingston eventually gets the win and becomes TNT champion, I think will be a great moment.
For sure. And that's such an interesting thing. And I was also doing my own sort of research with the Bloodsport movie, like I said, and Chong Li eventually falls to Frank Dukes, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that's the American hero who like totally is underdog. So and triumphs over the obviously bigger competitor. So maybe that is Eddie Kingston, the real true American underdog who no one really expects to win, but here he is. Miro wants to talk to him based on last night. So we will see what happens with that. We will also see what happens with Brock Anderson, poor Brock Anderson, stepping up for the Nightmare family. Who his dad said that after Malachi Black has come to AEW, the Nightmare family's just been very struggling. They've like lost Cody basically. Arn's been injured, and like everything's been flipped upside down. Brock wants to step up and try to take on Malachi Black, and his dad warns him. He says, like, I don't think you should do this, and he's like, I'll try my best. I like this is what I want to see out of Malachi Black, because I know it'll be a good match, and then he'll get
good match.
Yeah,
good match.
Brock
this is a one-shot kill. This is one-shot kill. One black mass in his done.
Think?
I don't think he's getting a match.
You think it'll be under a minute? Under a minute?
You saw what he done to Cody. So I'm sorry. Like it,
but I like
in my opinion, the way to book this match is Brock Anderson steps in and gets one black mass and it's done.
Okay, fine.
Maybe what they can do is let Brock Anderson attack him before the bell, very much like what Fuego did to Miro on Rampage. So yeah, Brock gets some, offense in, but when the match actually starts, one shot kill. And that's it. Yeah.
But I also think I'm also a big fan of like getting like sympathetic for the underdog. I really like that. So if they do decide to go that route, I would be fine with it. And I know that he's not a bad competitor, but I could definitely see that. 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, pin, yay, gone.
All I'm saying is if they did Cody the way they did Cody, I don't see Brock Anderson lasting longer than that.
Who's Malachi going up against at All Out, you think?
Maybe Cody returns, but when we're not too far from All Out, really, we're like 2 to 3 weeks out. So
what's he doing? Filming his reality
Cody,
show?
Yeah. Unless Cody comes back and makes the save, next week, then I don't know. Just wanted to run through some of the comments. Thanks you guys for putting all the comments in and really interacting with us.
Thank you, everyone.
Eric Travis says, Mex, did you see Miro and Kurt Angle face off? I did. I saw that picture. Got me excited, but at the same time, I don't want to see Kurt Angle in a ring again. I think it's done for me.
I don't want to see the guy get hurt, and he's already had his issues with that. So
yeah. Eric Travis says, LOL, Mike's face expression. He doesn't want Miro versus Eddie Kingston. They're going hard hitting, big man slap meet.
I don't want to see Miro lose, but Eddie's like my favorite. He's like, I think, like tied. No, he's not up to Moxley's level, but he's close. I really like him.
Yeah, he's always fun. So yeah, you don't mind him winning it. Jeff Samuel says, Sup Maniac and Mike, Eddie Kingston beat Miro in New York for the belt will be awesome. That's what everyone is kind of predicting. Hope it happens. Jonesy chats wrestling. Hope you're both well, guys. Hope you're good, Jonesy. He says, how do you think Punk debut?
Right. This is
I was shocked we didn't see Lance Storm help Jericho. We can talk about this later on when we're talking about the main event. Definitely.
Right. I mean, that would have wrote itself, but I don't know. Let's get Wardlow in there.
We'll get there. Jeff Samuel says, and then you can turn Miro into a madman character, someone who's more violent and vicious. I like Maniac. I appreciate that, Jeff. I think there's still, even if Kingston does win this title, there's so much mileage in Miro with this character of the Redeemer and, seeking forgiveness and all of that kind of stuff and trying to repent and all of this kind of stuff that they can bring into it. I think it could be so good if they do it well. Moving on a bit, Victor Punk says, F in the chat for Brock Anderson after the match with Malachi Black. Ryan Orson says, I think Miro should hold on to the title a little longer so we can have a more dominant reign with Lana on his side.
Alexander Rusev.
He keeps mentioning his wife, but we're yet to see if she turns up. Jeff Samuel says, bro, Maniac, they can do something cool like an oh my god moment. Anderson goes for the spine buster, but he missed it, and it's a counter into a black mass, like an RKO to Seth. Yeah, they can play with it in a multitude of ways, but yeah, like we were just saying, I just don't see Brock Anderson getting any more time than Cody did against Malachi Black.
No, I serve God every day, and my hot wife at night.
My hot wife at night. That was a brilliant line. He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah. So I don't want to. I think he should retain it at All Out. Maybe we'll see. at the
Yeah,
Arthur Ashe Stadium because he's so good
yeah,
right now. But main event time: Jericho versus MJF, the fifth labor of Jericho. No Judas. The coolest part of this whole thing for me was the fans sang Judas completely from start
yeah.
to the first chorus without music. I mean, that was a pretty dumb stipulation from Maxwell, but that was cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like wasn't clicking for me. Like they just did a bunch of stuff, and then he like was like getting in a submission. He did a lion saw, which is pretty cool. And then he was like MJF spent like 10 minutes working his arm to eventually put in the salt of the earth. And then didn't submit him the first time, put him back in, and submitted him clean. It was odd. It was surprising. It kind of was flat, and it didn't click for me. What about you?
Yeah, man. It was great to see the crowd kind of take control of the entrance and all of that backfired, what MGF had planned. But yeah, like you said, it was just a bit like we knew we were never gonna get like an amazing match between these two because Jericho at at his age and even MJF, they're not like, the most exciting of wrestlers to watch, with all due respect. So maybe this match could have done with, a stipulation, but a proper stipulation, not the whole,
A
injury
cage.
one. Yeah, like a cage or something. Like that's what was missing. And like we've said, this whole labors of Jericho thing. It started off okay with Sean Spears. They took it to heights that nobody expected with the death match. Even Juventud Guerrera's appearance was brilliant, making reference to his past and stuff that Jericho has said to MJF in the past. And then from there, it just went downhill. It's like they got lazy with it.
Yeah, as they said, CM
Like
Punk's coming. Who cares?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it turned to Wardlow. Then all of a sudden, MJF was the fifth labor rather than having a fifth labor and then MJF after that. All of a sudden, this match, this series of matches was just going to finish on TV and not on a pay per view.
Why is he tapping?
Jericho, I don't know. I
Like, it doesn't
don't
make
know.
sense to me if this is his like basically his final run, whatever. Like, he's really getting up there in age. Like, wouldn't he just go out and just let him? I don't know, like storyline wise, I'm saying. Wouldn't you just let him
Yeah.
snap the arm and maybe a ref stoppage would have even been better than, man, he submitted. Like, how are you gonna get how are you gonna get another match?
It is, bro. The way they have finished off something that, like I said, it started off with not much intrigue with the Sean Spears, but it was a good chairs match or whatever that was. And then it went to a whole new height, which no one expected. And they just from there
They were like,
just
what do
been
we do
coming
now,
down.
right? Like,
Yeah,
what do we
yeah.
do?
It just they never capitalized on it. Yeah, it's weird. Jason agrees. He said this was weird. Jeff Samuel says in the chat, is this a tour of Jericho retirement? I hope not. Not yet, man. Jericho is one of my favorite of all times. The likes of Brett and D Malenko, RVD, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, man.
This can't be it.
He's up here, but this can't be the way he
No, that was
leaves.
terrible. Like,
Yeah,
if we're gonna say no.
yeah, he's definitely winding down. I think we can all see that, but this is not the way it's gonna end. No, not at all.
So yeah, I mean, that was Dynamite. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad by any means. No, but just this last part kind of got me a little just like not really pumped for. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm still pumped for Friday, but it just wasn't the best that it could be. But we have very high standards here on this podcast, and
Yeah,
there
and I
was some
think at the
very
same
solid
time,
storytelling too.
yeah, I think at the same time, and this is what I've been saying in the last week, even with the debut of Rampage, and we were having a bit of a go saying that Rampage looks just like Dynamite, and of course because they're recording Rampage straight after Dynamite, but AEW have made us, have such high thoughts, high standards for them because they've just put on good show after good show after brilliant show week after week. So when we do see something that it doesn't hit those heights, it is it's like quite disappointing because we've just come to expect so much greatness from them.
Yeah, we're greedy right now in 2021.
Yeah, we're very greedy because they've made us want to expect really good wrestling,
which is good.
So that's why sometimes when something doesn't work, which they're allowed to have a bad day, of course we all have bad days, but then it's just like, oh man, like this just didn't work. And yeah, A lot of guys in the chat, they're talking about obviously he may be going on tour with Fozzy very soon. Chris Jericho, that is. Of course, we know that's a possibility. But even if that's the case, he's going to take a break and then come back. This isn't the way to kind of take the break. It's just a bit lackluster.
Yeah, no. Somebody in my end of the questions asked if you think that this will continue at All Out. But I can't see how that could happen with the, like I said, the submission. Like, why would MJF agree to this again?
Yeah, because they've had one match already, haven't they? And then this was the second one. Unless somehow he can get him in a Wars of Jericho and he's not giving up until he gives him an extra match, and then they have like the actual blow off of all blow offs at All Out, then maybe, but I'm not even sure how much interest people have for this anymore.
No, especially because which leads into the second question. If CM Punk does come on Friday, that's where the interest is going to be, and whether we like it or not, some of this stuff is going to be overshadowed in the coming days and weeks. And the question is, do you honestly believe that he's going to come? And that's from Shay. Do you think he's coming on Friday?
Are these from Instagram?
These are from Instagram, and I don't think that there is any chance he doesn't come. I will eat my words if he doesn't come.
The world explodes if he doesn't come.
There's no even hint of him or a video package. I'll make a video and saying how wrong I am.
No, I think he definitely turns up. We got another gem, if you like, from Kenny Omega on the show. He was wearing a shirt that said Chick Magnet. Remember I was telling you the other day when Kenny Omega wore the shirt that says Cookie Monster?
Yeah, CM.
That CM Punk actually, I'm sure I've seen some footage where CM Punk said that CM actually stands for Chick Magnet.
Okay. You told
Kenny
me that.
Omega,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega was wearing a Chick Magnet shirt this week. I think
I won't even be able to see it though because I'm not going to be here at 10. I'll watch it in the morning, so I'm going to turn off my phone.
Yeah. Don't see any spoilers. That's what I'm gonna do. Obviously, it comes on at 3 a.m. in the UK. I'm not watching it at 3 a.m. I'm going to bed, and then in the morning I'll wake up first thing and watch it. I think that we got Moxley versus Daniel Garcia, which should be a really good match.
As well.
2.0 will get involved. Sting and Darby will get involved, and I think that's where we see CM Punk confront Darby maybe in that particular.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect thing. I think he'll come out during the whole Moxley thing. And, perfectly. Maybe he comes and kicks 2.0's ass or something.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to kind of get there. So
who's that guy? Matt Lee. That's the main guy who talks, right?
Yeah,
he sounds like he's from the 50s. I like it.
I just love the way he's like with his face. He accentuates everything he's saying. I know, even from NXT, these guys were really getting over literally, and then they just got released. It was crazy, but
that sounds pretty on brand.
Definitely. Is there any other questions you got?
That was it for I posted too many stories last
Instagram.
night. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. All right, guys. So that was the Dynamite review. We hope you enjoyed it with us. Had a good time going through that. We've got Rampage on Saturday. During the review, that is, and of course we know what we're all expecting to see on that show, so make sure you tune in with us. If you
look in my eyes, what do you see? Cult of personality.
This is Santa Karaoke show. So guys, make sure you are subscribed to my channel on YouTube, and you're subscribed or following the podcast on your platform of choice, because when that drops, you're going to want to listen to our reactions of the CM Punk debut. We're 99.9% sure we're getting it. We just needed to see the guy turn up now and hear that music playing. That is we've got the show today, Dynamite. You got Rampage on Saturday,
and Elevation special edition tonight. Maybe there'll be some kind of spoiler or something. I don't know, some kind of hint, but they're doing something to build it for it. Yeah, so
maybe we'll get some gems on Elevation as well. So guys, thank you very, very much for tuning in, all your interaction and involvement in the chat. Thanks for those that listen on the podcast version as well. We thoroughly appreciate you guys supporting this podcast every single week. You can catch more of Mike doing his thing Japan coverage, whether it's Noah, New Japan, when he falls back in love with New Japan, that is, and
Yeah.
AEW, of course,
Uh-huh.
and the indie stuff, Mr. Deathmatch King turning over there. Catch him on King's Road Wrestling on Instagram, and you can catch myself doing all your usual AEW and WWE updates on my Instagram, WrestleManiac.uk. Mike, any final words before we get out of here today?
I really appreciate the involvement. This was a fun episode, and we like it. We like it being on a roll for you guys. Yeah, thank you for everybody, and I hope everyone's ready for tomorrow.
That's exactly it, man. Thanks for all the love in the chat, all the nice words, all the comments, like Mike said. Guys, we will see you next on here on Saturday reviewing AEW Rampage. Until then,